Everything is nicely tucked in here at the start of this wall. But likewise, I mean, you've already explained Golden's abilities. He can go aggressive. He can go for the long game. On a map like Merry-Go-Round, what do you think he favors here against MMA?
It's definitely a difficult map to play as a Zerg player because where's your fourth base going to be really taken? That's a big problem here. And it's better for Terran the longer the game goes. Either Golden takes his fourth base on the higher platform next to the Xel'Naga Tower, which can be very difficult against a good Terran player who drops and splits his forces up. Or he takes it to the far left, which is like super far to the left-hand side somewhere. So it's really difficult for him. His third base naturally has to be, I would suppose, in the back there. And then he's got to choose between the two middle ones. That's difficult. Then once you're starting to spread yourself so thinly across the left-hand side, drops to the main base become a massive problem. I wonder if he's going to take the approach like a lot of Zergs do and try to end it mid-game, whether it be a Roach Baneling attack, a Roach Hydra attack, a pure Roach attack. Does he go for a 1-1 Roach timing? These different types of attacks, because MMA will be weak as he takes his third base for the first time in this game. It's wide open, not easy to defend. Maybe that's where Golden takes it.
And if I recall correctly, I think Golden actually did things like that on this map in the round of 32.
Yeah, he's definitely capable of all-ins, for sure. Yeah. That's something that MMA will have to be careful about when it comes to his own greed in this matchup.
Definitely. Well, the Overlord's already seen the Reaper heading out, so he knows he has to prepare for that in just a little bit.
He does not want to stay around with that Overlord, though. He will lose it to the Marine if he thinks that's a second Reaper.
Yeah, so being a bit keen about getting full information, but he's going to have to dance around the cliffs, I guess, up to the north or something like that.
MMA's like, surprise! And that's a dead Overlord, and that's a fantastic start for MMA.
Great start, great start. And the Reaper isn't even being that aggressive, actually. It's just sitting around.
No, and the thing is there's 6 Lings on the way, so even if Lings try to come to help, it doesn't matter. The Reaper's there and a second Marine.
Yeah, so...
Bad start here for Golden.
Oh, well. Lings just being positioned outside. Actually going to hunt down the SCV. And that Overlord overall didn't even get any more intel than the fact that 2 Marines were going to kill it. So, not brilliant in the end.
Yeah, very good start for MMA. Supply blocking your opponent at the 4-minute mark's brilliant. 6 Lings won't do anything here with the Reaper still around and waiting. He knows that I don't need a killer drone. I've killed an Overlord. I'll make sure I don't lose anything to this. But Zergling speed is on the way. There is a chance here, because the Reaper hasn't spotted anything, that we see a flood of Zerglings coming through. If you get us around on the first 2 Hellions, you can walk over the natural. So will Golden, with the next Overlord being built, after that Overlord, choose to build Zerglings? That's his opportunity with the lava that will pop from the main base shortly. Does he want to build Zerglings or drones?
A few extra drones being added on, but you're right, there was certainly a very good opportunity
there. More lava here.
Yeah, there is.
Zergling speed is very close. The Overlord's about to pop. What's it going to be? Drones. So no aggression.
False alarm.
False alarm. Second gas starport on the way for MMA with the Tech Lab, so we are going to see Hellion Banshee here. I think it's a fantastic approach against a Zerg player not too sure what strategy he's going to use against you. It's very good defensively.
For now, Golden's going to have to just play it greedily. But overall, I think that more so than most maps, creep spread is so important on this map to establish not only the defense of the third base, but also then trying to transition on, if you're not going to try and kill them in the mid-game, to actual that fourth base. Because you said you get spread so thin, of course, but creep spread's always going to help that if you do get that spread that thin.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very important for Golden, of course. Banshee with Cloak on the way, and there's been no Overlord scout from Golden. Probably doesn't want to lose a second Overlord in this game, so he's going to run the risk of hoping this isn't the case. And this is a third command center, for example. But currently, with no spores, no lair, no detection, he's in trouble. The Roach Warren's been put down in a very hidden location. So it looks like we are going to see a Roach Baneling attack, but he's walking into a wall. It's Hellion Banshee.
Yeah.
It's the best to deal with this attack. There's no fast third command center. Obviously, the Banshee's going to go uncontested. Here's the 4 Overlords in production. He's going to go for it.
It really shows MMA has been doing quite a bit of good homework on his opponent, knowing that there's the potential of something that is aggressive, even though he doesn't know about it just yet.
Yeah, it depends where the Banshee is when this attack happens, and does he spot it early, because that does assist MMA a lot. But MMA will have a wall, and he's going to probably start to figure this out very shortly. 9 Roaches on the way. And Golden is going to take this map in the way that I thought he might. Aggression. Just to try to finish it earlier. And there's the Bailey Nest as well. And MMA sees 5 Lings, that's it.
Yeah,
Roaches were hidden.
Some hidden.
Obviously, not built yet.
Very nice little hiding of the extra Lings as well here.
Look at the Banshee just kind of chilling on the right-hand side here in case there is going to be an attack.
That's actually brilliant.
And he sees no drones on the third, which is a little bit weird, and no Queen over there to spread creep.
Quite alarming. There's a lot of Zerglings now in production. He does see the Roaches. He sees the Roaches with the Hellions at the front, so pulls back with those Hellions, trying to find a route out because he was already pinned back by the Zerglings.
Yeah, bunker being built now. Can he make the defense here? He's got a Banshee destroying the main mineral line, and hopefully a Banshee at home as well. There should be a second one and a third one on the way.
But back home, he doesn't have that many units. 3 Marines, 3 Hellions. Yeah. There's another Banshee on the way, of course. Extra bunkers are being added on in layers to try and hold off against this. As he sees Banelings being morphed in on his doorstep, he's got to react now. He's trying to repair this as much as he possibly can do. Those Banelings are going to break it down fast once they're done.
And is he going to make the hold here? This is going to be a very important moment here for MMA.
He's getting that bunker. The wall is already down without any Banelings even doing any damage to the wall, so you can use those on the bunker to start off the aggression. Still not that many units out, but with the Banshee back and an extra Banshee popping, he should be able to hold on quite nicely.
Yeah, needed to kind of make a wall maybe on that natural, but he's holding on for now. He is down a lot in SCVs, but he's also killed a lot. He's killed 17, or no, 7 or so. Golden's killed 17. MMA has killed 7 of his own. Third command center there. Yeah. Does not want to lose more, though.
Yeah, needs to kill these Banelings. Needs to focus those down, get those SCVs out of there. Just make sure that the Roaches aren't killing off too much, because right now it's 23 workers to 27. So
that's
Golden,
still okay for MMA.
Yeah, exactly. Golden isn't exactly miles ahead, and he's trying to wall off. He actually walls off a few more Roaches with his factory whilst all of this is going on.
He was a little bit late with that wall off, to be honest, and he's lost, you know, 8 or so more SCVs than he should have because that wall off wasn't there. And
behind this now, it's all gun-ho drones for Golden, droning towards that third base that was looking to add the lava onto this aggression. So for now, I think that Golden's done quite a bit.
Yeah, he's done a lot here, and it's going to. We'll have to see how much these Banshees can do, because if they go aggressive, the Lings can run around and still be aggressive themselves.
But I got to ask, with the third command center being done behind all of this, how much does this give MMA the opportunity to keep powering on?
He can power on, but he mustn't lose any more SCVs. He's already lost too many in this game.
Hellions need to keep dancing, because those Lings will get the wraparound and shut them down. Really good positioning there, but in the end, I mean, they just don't have enough firepower to deal with that flood of Lings.
And he's losing even more SCVs now.
This is getting a bit out of control. He's trying to target down even some mules there. Really weaken the economy lines here of MMA.
And 11 drones popping, so 36 SCVs. That was successful there for Golden. MMA did not spot it in time. He spotted it way too late. Banshee out of position. Hellions got killed on the other side of the map. There is a small window for MMA to do damage now with these 3 Banshees, obviously. There's no really anti-air, aside from static defense and a few Queens. But he can target the Queens down. He needs to find a blind spot if there is one to find.
Yeah, he's actually added on even 2 extra spores in his main base because he really, really wants to protect the layer by the looks of things more so than anything. But the tech is vulnerable. I mean, there are vulnerabilities here where, as you rightly say, that damage can be done.
Yeah, 1 Queen down already. More drones on the turn there. He's found a weak spot.
He's found a weak spot on the layer. That's why 3 spores are here to try and protect that. Needs to do a little bit of repositioning himself to shut this down. And Banshee's sitting around, going to have to move on back for now. They probably could have actually brought down that spore whilst it was burrowing.
Surprised that Golden didn't try to squeeze out the Spire here. And he's just choosing to go for a +1 attack and a Hydralisk Den of all things.
Getting a Baneling Nest won't be too bad, but...
So trying to kill off these Banshees is going to be difficult. It's only Queens which aren't that good here. And a couple of Spore Crawlers.
So I mean, he's going to keep Golden on his toes whilst he's trying to rebuild back home. He's got a few extra barracks being added on a little bit later than normal, obviously, because he was slowed down in the early stages.
Almost got another Queen there.
In range of those Spore Crawlers, doesn't want to be doing that, but gets the Queen as well.
Nice pick up there, and he's going for another Queen. He's killed, what, 3 Queens now?
Yeah,
3 Queens.
Loses a Banshee. But in the end, they did do well for themselves.
Lots of damage. Of course, lava injects have been missed. The creep spread isn't ideal, but the creep spread is focusing on 1 attack through the middle, Hydras, and that's it, really. I guess he can add in a couple of Roaches if his gas is a little bit low here. But good kind of recovery from MMA. He's still behind in economy, but he's getting up towards having an army, and he's about to risk not being attacked now, as he's going to drop inside the main base while that Hellion and Banshee go harass that third a little bit more.
Overall, he didn't see the Hydralisk Den. Is there anything that MMA can pick up on to say that this is kind of the follow-up to this?
No, he does not know the follow-up. Does not know exactly.
Okay, so it's going to have to be a bit careful, that's for sure, as the drop is now continuing in the main.
He will start to figure out the follow-up now, though, because these units must defend.
Yep, they must. Coming back, pushing away that. It's only 6 Marines, actually, but his 4th base is definitely going to be shut down by those 2 Banshees, so he's really getting his bang for his buck on those.
Yeah, MMA's still a couple of minutes away from having an army, though, and the Ling Hydra production has started, and it is very, very good right now. There's a lot of Hydralisks, there's a lot of Lings with this as well. MMA will get 1-1 soon, in about 1 minute's time. So, you know, roughly 60 minutes and 30 seconds, and then he may be okay. But there's a lot of units on the way for Golden.
Yeah, and picking up those Marines in the middle is a nice start. Also getting some of these Hellions really will help out as well.
Yeah, 16 Roaches to join the already 12 or so Hydralisks. I think that is going to probably run MMA over. I don't think he's going to be quite ready for this.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't completely kill him off, it's probably going to push the third base back at least. So he's going to be hurting and reeling from all of this.
Maybe the Banshees could be the difference, though. There is an Overseer with this, but the Banshees are going to be dealing out a lot of damage. And if the Hydralisks can't get close enough to the Banshees, they will deal out a lot of damage. So
yeah, maybe the Widow Mines can be the changer.
There's a changeling within this army. There is an enemy amongst the allies.
Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful.
Spots the army here. And MMA knows what's coming now. He's seen this.
Might have to run away from there, MMA. That's quite the army itself. 84 army supply to 62 as...
Got to micro these Banshees.
He needs those alive.
You need these.
Oh, okay. Losing those is not a good start here for MMA, as Golden still up in terms of army supply. Splitting links forwards as well to soak up some of these Widow Mines. A brilliant play, because he has the Overseer there. They're always going to die during that.
Remember that MMA doesn't need his third currently. He just needs to be able to defend this. Can he?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a big wall of Roaches with Hydralisks behind for the big firepower themselves. Also, the Marines, trying to hold on against this. He has to sacrifice SCVs to tank whilst all of this is going on. This is going to be difficult.
Yeah. Thor comes in to help.
Thor might be able to deal out quite a lot of damage here. MMA plummeting in terms of supply, though. Golden trying to push on forward. The Marines dealing out surprisingly a lot of damage because the medevacs are helping them out. And Roach Hydra against that kind of concave isn't going to be able to win just yet.
No, not yet. But maybe the reinforcements can be enough here. MMA is going to take the fight in the open once again.
Having to push all of this back. How are we doing in terms of army supply? It looks like it's just been a bit too much. Picking up the Thor, trying to get that out of there. Really needs to keep that alive for the extra damage.
Nice use of the high ground there. Golden can't see up. Got to save that third. Tank's on the way and 2-2, though. The longer the game goes, the better MMA would naturally become until we see a transition into the hive, which that's what the infestation pit's for. And most likely, either can go into swarm host from that, could go up to the hive itself and actually try to get Vipers.
Takes the engagement again. He's got a big concave here as the Roaches are going to try and worm their way to the back of this line. Get to that siege tank. They bring that down. That limits a lot of the damage, as well as the Thor falling as well. I think he might have just broken the back of MMA.
Yeah, MMA really wants to mine from that third. He knows he has to, so he took a fight that wasn't necessarily he was going to win, and that could have cost him the game.
And he's on top of all of this now. There's not really that many Marines, not that much bio left over. Getting those Widow Mines is important as he brings those down instantly. Focus firing the important key units. He'll be pushed back once again, but Golden is winning this war.
But he had to use SCVs to fight there, and now he's down to 35. His third command center will not be mined from a long time.
66 workers killed. It's just, unfortunately for MMA, spiraling out of control as Golden is playing a great game one.
2-2 is on the way here. And will upgrades even matter, though, because it does become a numbers game. With the economy so big for Golden and so weak here for MMA, you just simply can't really rebuild very often. You see his minerals, they're not even going above 50 because a Marine costs 50 minerals and he's a boom, 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 boom. Always got to be building everything he can. And not a lot of money here for MMA.
Got to be hitting that macro, trying to get those siege tanks out as well. Only has one to his name right now with a second one on the way. And once the hive finishes, once he even gets up to blinding clouds, how is this army supposed to stand and fight? It's just not going to be able to.
I mean, Hydra's have +2 now.
Yeah, this is just going to be the killing blow right on top of this bio, killing off the siege tank, killing off the rest of the Marines. A few more SCVs are going to die in the process. GG. Golden takes game number 1 in the winners match.
Aggressive. His attack was spotted late, and it worked. And from that, gained an advantage, which he did well with. Obviously took a bit of damage versus the Banshees afterwards, but weathered the storm. And is making Apollo look like a god with predictions.
Good job, man. Good job so far. Still needs to win the series, though.
Yeah.
But after seeing that game, he played MMA pretty darn well. MMA is going to have to reevaluate things.
Yeah, and that's a map which MMA probably would have liked to have won out of the 3 here. Deadwing is the second map, and then King Sejong final map between these two. Game in hand now for Golden. Going over to Deadwing. It's a large map here.
But it was picked by Golden, which is very, very important.
Yeah, Golden's last veto was Catalina, more so than Deadwing here, which I don't blame him for. Catalina's a very difficult map to play against. A good terrain on, lots of drops everywhere. And just kind of difficult overall. Deadwing, funny enough, Golden got rid of Nimbus as his first veto, which I completely agree with as well. Trying to take a 4th base on that map is hard. When the terrain controls the middle, it's very difficult. So Deadwing naturally just thrown in there. MMA doesn't like to play on Foxtrot and Overgrowth were his 2. Overgrowth is sometimes questionable. Terrans don't really like that map as much. Pocket 4th base can be difficult to deal with. Can't really get there very often. But Deadwing is in the mix, so a massive map here. 3 players spawning, as I learned the hard way. I have that one.
And I wonder if MMA actually wants to go for an early tank. I mean, it's very, very, well, it has been popular in the past.
Yeah, and it could come out. The early tank here is a strategy that you place the tank behind the opponent's natural and then try to siege from that position and get some damage done here. We could see Roach Hydra busts again coming out from Golden. But it is an easy map to take 3 and 4 bases, which for Terran is good.
Yeah, there's a nice wraparound of bases, which really does help out. As long as you bring down those rocks nice and early when you're defending those locations, all is good. Anyway, game number 2 now. Golden leads 1-0. Looking nice and tidy in game number 1. As we have, spawning up to the top left-hand corner, it's our red Zerg. 1 game away from the round of 8. It is Alien Invasion's Golden. Down to the bottom right-hand corner, as our blue Terran representing Team Acer, it is MMA.
He gambled a little bit there that ended his game, but he's going to gamble again here. We are going to see 2 barracks come out from MMA. And he did this twice versus Snoot at DreamHack, eliminated the Norwegian. And now he's going to do it again here from Golden. But Golden's first Overlord, funny enough, is going through the middle of the map currently, and that is perfect against this. The location for the 2 barracks is in between the top 2 bases here, and Golden is going to have a very good scout here. He's moving his first Overlord. Unless he changes this, this is a perfect scout.
Going right to the heart of it.
This is huge, and if he pulls away his Overlord and builds a spawning pool...
Yeah, if he doesn't reveal that he's seen this...
Well, it is going to be a gas, so it's not a 2 barracks, it's just a single one. It's going to be with a gas, so it's going to be a Reaper here, but he's just got to hide his Overlord.
Wow.
And MMA does not see above that cliff area. And Golden has full vision on this. And this is an easy spawn and pull first here, very early Queen. And MMA's barracks is simply on the other side of the map.
Yep. And that can cause you a lot of problems if this doesn't really do a whole... Of course, it's going to force Lings out, and then they're going to be defending for a while, dancing around until the Queen comes out. But how does it happen later on? Because obviously MMA is going to need to wall off, etc.
Yeah.
So there is opportunity, I feel.
Oh, Golden! Yes. I think what he's doing... The Overlord. So what I think he's looking at here, look how he's bringing his Overlord down, and he's showing it. He's like, by the way, MMA, I'm to the top right, mate. Go to the top right. I'm telling you, my Overlord came from the top right. I've seen it. And MMA is, going over there. He's like, all right, let me go over there and have a quick look. And he's not there. Cool little mind game.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Not going to make too much difference, though, as the Reaper's not even out. But, of course, if a bunker or something has started outside vision range, it could have worked. But already a Queen and Zerglings on the way. And even the follow-up, which is the best spot here for Golden, with gas down as well. He's going to get Zergling speed very early. He's going to deal with the Reapers very easily. And he will launch a counterattack here.
There was a funny move there where the Overlord span around in a circle as the SCV passed it again, as if to say, yeah, I fooled you, but...
And MMA's got to be gutted. He's like, God, he's got Zerglings out. No way. Does he spot... There's a lot of Zerglings as well.
That is a lot of Zerglings.
And he's got speed.
Uh-oh.
And now you have to start thinking about, walling off, thinking about getting some...
Is he even going to get out? Oh! This is not good for MMA. He's got another Reaper on the way, but it's the Queen's already there. The Queen can hold the defense while the Zerglings are running back. The wall is a command center and supply depots for now.
The Reaper is going to be the only defense. It will defend on the high ground here without more gas being built. He can't break the wall. So the Reaper's going to chill behind the command center and supply depots, but MMA's on 1 base, pretty much. He's building the second, of course, but he's not going to mine from this for a long time. This allows Golden the opportunity to drone up massively now and take a 3rd base very shortly as well, which is going to be uncontested. And MMA's got to wait till Hellions are out. You actually need to wait till Hellions are out before you can do anything in this game.
Exactly. I mean, there's the other side of the spectrum that I thought might happen, which would be Golden taking a bit more gas and then getting a bit more aggressive. But why? Why even bother if you are going to take that, nice macro lead off the back of this?
Yeah, and he's getting... I mean, this is... Bad news bears. There's an Overlord coming around the top right here, which should spot the 3rd command center eventually. And with the greed that MMA's going for, he's tucked on one base, got to wait till Heinz are out before he can deal with these. Oh, jumps away, and it's going to be fine here.
Needs to get back up.
Yeah,
though.
we've got to see a third hatchery come in soon for Golden to stretch his economic lead in this game.
Yeah, yeah. This is very, very interesting how this is played out to start things off. Barracks is now back, so that can get into gear.
The faster MMA gets his second base, the better it is for him. The longer, the worse this is.
Yeah.
He's got to get his natural mining.
He's getting tech lab on that barracks as well to switch out for the starport by looks of things.
Overlord spots the third command center here. A perfect scout from Golden. Also is going to look for the... No, he's not going to... Turns around from the follow-up. He doesn't care. He knows whatever it is going to be, it's going to be late because that third is so early.
Reaper's just darting straight to the natural to have a little bit of a look around. I think he wants a lot of information himself. He was a bit in the dark as to what was going on behind that because obviously he was pushed away by the Lings and the ability of speed and certainly needed to know what was going on.
So very low SCV count, just 27 here. Will, of course, start a recovery soon. This is going to be Hellion and Banshee without the cloak, unless he dedicates his next bit of gas to it, which doesn't make sense because there's a tech lab on the barracks on the way. So it's going to be Hellion and cloakless Banshees to try do damage.
10 drones, lots of drones, loving it from Golden, playing greedy.
And the Reaper has been cleared up on that left-hand side now, so no extra units. And a wonderful setup here for Golden, who I would imagine is going to throw down some evolution chambers very shortly.
Yeah, and he'll set himself up so well going into this mid-game. MMA, though, likewise on his side of things. Stim has begun. Banshee number... Is it number 1? Oh, yeah, okay, so it's only the first one. So looking to do some damage, but don't think Golden will be too bothered by one Banshee with no cloak. I think
interestingly enough, he's chosen the layer first here, which is technically a little bit safer because you can get the overseers if there are going to be Banshees.
Yeah.
Also opens up Roach speed very early as well. If we were to see a Roach Warren start in the next couple of seconds, he'd be able to build Roach speed when the Roach Warren starts. No, but it is double evolution chamber. So there's going to be some form of upgrades, whether it be Zerglings or Roach Hydra.
Yeah. And bringing down those rocks to make sure nothing can be exploited, all importantly. Because that can be really, really irritating.
These Hellions have the opportunity to run past onto creep. There is only 10 Zerglings and only a couple of Queens. Golden is playing very greedy, of course, at this point. I wonder if MMA even spots that. Finds a weak spot, though, with the Banshee. 2-3 kills.
Yeah, Banshee might put him a little bit off guard here as well. If he's dealing with the Banshee at the back and prioritizing that, how are the Hellions going to run? But he's got good overlord positioning on the entrance to his base, so that's going to give him a really good heads up to reposition.
Nice. MMA has a quick look. There's not many Lings here.
Yeah, they've got to really, really be careful.
There's not. Once these goes down.
Queen trying to help out, push that away for a second. But more Lings are on the way. They're buying a little bit of time.
Yeah, and the Viking going to be a right nuisance here. It is attack upgrades, by the way. Balin S coming in, I think, just in case this was going to be some kind of Hellbat play, because he's not quite sure. Oh, no. Baling speed actually being dedicated to. We're going to see a Roach Baling all in with both speed upgrades for both sets of units.
And this could be scary.
And this requires a tank.
Yes, it does.
This requires a tank to break down the Banelings, and then hopefully the rest of the units can do something here. But again, Golden going aggressive versus MMA.
MMA adding on additional barracks here to try and get his production going super fast during all of this.
He might switch his factory onto the tech lab here.
He may have to.
He's a little bit slow with his upgrades as well. He hasn't started the 1-1 as Funker's showing us.
Yeah. And this is going to hit really hard, because if he's got 1-1 along with these Roaches...
Scans shows Baneling speed, but he doesn't find the Roach Warren, unfortunately.
By the time 1-1's finished, it's going to be too late.
I mean, that looks normal.
Yeah,
that looks like 1-1 Zergling and Baneling.
Exactly.
Here. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a turret started in a second. He hasn't read into this yet.
No, not at all. Armory being added on as well here, just to be able to, I guess, get the Hellbats in motion. But +1 weapons has only just started now, along with +1 himself. So maybe he was lining that up and assumed that 1-1 had started, but that would be kind of ambitious, actually.
All right, well, MMA needs to spot this. He's going to be so far out in the open. No reinforcements come and help either, because the rocks aren't destroyed in between these two bases.
Ooh.
The Viking, nope.
It almost spotted. So close.
And in the middle of the map, he will spot it now, but he's going to have to pick up and get out with these units. He's going to lose them if not.
Oh, there's 2 Widow Mines, 2 Burrow. Will they do any damage at all? They catch quite a lot of those roaches,
There's
so they
no
weaken
bunkers,
a few.
Chloris. There's 21 Banelings being made. MMA is looking at a 0-2 right now. If Golden's able to pull this off.
Golden's bringing the thunder so fast to this game. Baneling's morphing in. The roaches are already in the fray, killing off a lot of this bio themselves. Hellbat's trying to hold the fort as well, but there really isn't even that much army left here for MMA.
If MMA holds, he's going to be a god, but I'm not sure this is going to work out too well for him. There are so many units here. There's no Widow Mines to stop the Banelings breaking down this wall. The Banshees are trying, but it's too slow.
It's going to fall very, very fast there. Banelings roll on forwards, trying to get on top of the army, prioritizing that. If they can kill the majority of this off, then the Roaches are going to do a lot. Also, more Lings probably going to be flooding forwards here whilst all of this goes on. The Roaches are alive. That 1-1 helped so much against the upgradeless army here of MMA.
Yeah, and that's what's making the big difference here, upgrades.
More Lings flood on in. These SCVs
40.
are stranded during all of this as well. He literally depots because he can't.
Yeah.
He can't let these units in.
The Banshee's the hero here, having 17, 18 kills here. Queen comes into the mix. 2 Widow Mines, though, going to make a big difference. MMA's got a lot of Marine Marauders left, and he's starting to make this hold.
More Banelings on the way, trying to get that wall up again. Needs some of these Banelings to at least crash into that to keep MMA's hopes alive in this game.
Yeah, he's mining freely from that third base. It's making a massive difference for MMA.
More Banelings trying to roll on forwards here, but the splits are good from MMA considering his position. Still the Roaches and Lings persist, though. Unit count, there's only 10 Marines out, but as you said,
he's
the
finally
Banshee...
at 1-1 now.
Oh, the upgrades kicking in. That Banshee just keeps going to town. It's been absolutely impossible to deal with.
24 kills on that Banshee now.
Oh, those Widow Mines not really working out hugely brilliantly for MMA there, but in the end, he does hold.
He does hold. He makes the holder. Fantastic effort there from MMA. You really didn't expect him to be able to do that. And with Marauders and, you know, the Marines being upgraded now, and the Banshee's still alive, he will push this back with ease from this point.
With more Widow Mines on the way, that's going to help out quite a lot. Go Banshee, get as many kills as you possibly can, because right now, well, all you have to do is keep stimming back this bio and making sure that you can stood a step against it, picking off the Lings, as there's only Roaches really now to go up against this, and the Medivacs are providing good healing here to keep this away.
He continues the hold from this point on, and are we going to see a transition come in, maybe, from Golden? He's just continuing to build units, continuing to warp in more units. Those Widow Mines got some good shots in the middle there, but with every second that ticks by, MMA is getting in better and better shape. He's going to take his high ground now instead of that low third. He's got 2-2 on the way. The Banshee with 29 kills, still alive in this game. Some better positions for these Widow Mines. And all you got to do here is build some bunkers, I would imagine, and just sit down and lock the door, lock the windows.
Golden's going to try and keep putting his head against this wall, but can it really happen with the bio now having gathered momentum? MMA feels comfortable enough to have 2-2 on the way, and King Banshee, of all things, just keeps on trucking.
Widow Mine does a lot of damage to the Marines there.
Nothing to contest it, as once again tries to push on, but there's still a lot of Banelings. The splits need to be good to hold off against that, but MMA in true colors continues on with the splits. There's not that many Marines left over, but as the bio keeps coming through, the reinforcement point for MMA is enough to make this happen. He has so many barracks back
He's got to pull SCVs here right now. The Banshee's got to keep working away. That's at 37 kills now, but SCVs are being killed off here for MMA, and that's not good. That's not good at all.
35 workers have been killed off, but he's still at 44 against 56.
Yeah, more and more units being streamed out. Remember, he's so close to 2-2. Get to 2-2, this stops. Golden, very close in supply, which is actually good for MMA, and he will push us back once again. More money, more dedication to more Banelings must be commit here. Bunkers are going to be made. The stubbornness for MMA is over. And like I said, he's 1 minute away. 1 minute away from 2-2.
The wind is slowly going from the sails here of the Zergers. There's really not a whole lot of opportunity left for him here. The supply counts have been evened up.
48 kills on the Banshee.
Well done, Banshee. You did well. You did well.
And MMA continues this 5-minute hold here pretty much. And he's zooming in on 2-2, which is where he starts to take every fight easily from this point. With no 2-2 upgrades from Golden, no Mutalisks, no Infestors, no higher tech units to actually combat the Marine Marauders, he's going to be having a very difficult time here. That was a brilliant hold from MMA. Absolutely fantastic and flawless play from him.
Worker counts even. MMA now flying up in that upgrade position. And for Golden, he wasn't even joining again. He's just morphing in Banelings, getting more Zerglings, trying to go for another blunt force push. And it's all been seen. It's all been seen once again by these Medivacs.
Yeah, this is where you've got to just use your Medivacs to your advantage here. There's nothing to stop these fly-in units. And to be honest, MMA does not need to be aggressive out in the open.
No, he does not. It could be his downfall if he's not too careful about all of this, but he's up in terms of supply now. His production back at home is fierce compared to what we're seeing here from Golden, who is just waning. There's not a whole lot he can do here if the splits are good from MMA.
Widowmine hits. Oh, actually on the Terran army.
Ooh, got to be very, very careful about that. He catches some of the Banelings whilst they're rolling on forwards with another one of those Widow Mines. There's not actually that much fire there, but the bunker is going to be able to hold strong against only a few roaches left over.
This is the last-ditch attack. GG MMA. With a drop going on inside the main base, at the same time there we caught a glimpse of fantastic hold from MMA, who looked like he would have been defeated on that map, but that was pure brilliance from MMA.
And I think that's why you call him Golden Boy when it comes to things like that.
That was fantastic. Definitely a memory to be had there, and one to remember for a long time. That was a beautiful, beautiful defense from, of course, a former champion of the WCS. Unfortunately, Golden's hyper-aggressive play, Game 2, did not work out this time, even though it definitely looked like it could have.
Well, that means now we come to King Sejong Station for map number 3 between these. And we've already seen a brilliant game from Golden during the round of 32 against Daishi. But when it comes to MMA, he's I would say a level above Daishi.
Yeah.
So do you think,
of course,
do you think Golden can still persevere here?
Definitely think so. Definitely think Golden can do this, but MMA played brilliantly there. He had a tap on the shoulder from his good old buddy Inu, our translator, from a very good performance there from the Terran. But yeah, I think Golden's definitely, for me, still my favorite, despite no one else believing.
No one else believing.
I believe in you, mate. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a good series for sure.
Yeah, already has been. Already has been with holds like that. All right, let's get into it. Game number 3 then. King Sejong Station is our map. Our 2 Koreans fighting for a spot in the round of 8 as we have spawning to the bottom right. It's our red Zerg representing Alien Invasion. It is Golden. And up to the top left, our blue Terran making the hold. Representing Team Acer, it is MMA.
So, would you like some out of the blue information, Claris?
I certainly would.
Randomly, as this game gets underway, considering there's no early aggression. Did you know King Sejong Station is based on an old Korean king who actually made the Korean language Hangul?
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay. I didn't know if you did or not. He was a king of Korea back in 1397, was born. Died at the age of 52. Some random facts coming in here.
That's true.
And it was, well, had his reign in between the years 1418 and 1450, Claris.
Thank you very much. And I also have to give him props for, in my opinion, being one of the smartest guys out there, considering the way he formulated the language, which is apparently very simple, very mathematical, and very easy to learn.
And that's the name behind King Sejong Station.
There we
I don't
go.
know if anyone else knew that. I didn't until today.
History with Apollo and Kylaris.
Yep. It's a little fun fact for you. All right, brilliant play there from MMA. Just, I mean, that is just MMA to a T. When he plays like that, I think anybody, whether you like StarCraft or not, can appreciate that, because that was pure brilliance, I thought.
Yeah, it was
very, very, very good hold.
He's already geared himself up just to cut corners, just position this as best he can with an extra add-on to wall off that. And gas has already been taken here from Golden as well to hold off against any Reapers that are coming along.
Yeah, get circling speed really early into the game. Of course, around the 6-minute mark it'll be, which means MMA cannot use the Reaper anymore in this game. And it also opens up the opportunities for Golden to be aggressive again, whether it's going to be a Roach bailing all in or something, a little bit deeper into the game. But Golden can choose from that. He did in Game 1 and kind of did in Game 2. More of a reaction, though, in Game 2 compared to Game 1.
MMA being ranked 17th in the WCS system right now, it's got to weigh so much on his mind when it comes to the tournament that he's playing so far. And he's playing Stockholm as well, I believe, correct? So
yes.
He's winning one more game here and propelling yourself forwards to the round of 8 is of such importance that we need to keep reiterating.
Yeah, this is a massive map here for MMA. Of course, it's not all or nothing. If he loses here, he would go up against Mana, again, who he did take care of quite easily in the previous set that he played. And of course, the easy road to victory is just a nice, easy win on King Sejong Station.
Oh,
Squeeze. Squeezes out there. And MMA does know about the Zergling speed being on his way, so won't stay around for too much longer, I would imagine. So far, single gas from MMA, which is pushing him towards the third command center plate, which again could push Golden to be aggressive here.
Nothing too much out of the ordinary in the end, as it's just drones here for Golden. And I'm wondering if Golden is willing to let this go longer. He's already starting to work on the rocks at his natural.
Which would suggest that he wants to play the game longer, because you don't need to kill these rocks to do an all-in, and it more so opens up the potential fourth base to be on this right-hand side, more so than on the left. So just that kind of kill in the rocks tells me that he'd more than likely prefer to be more so passive in this game compared to not.
Yeah.
And interestingly, we have a starport being baited here by MMA. He's not going towards that third command center. He decided to take the second gas and go for the starport here. So by the looks of it, it could be a switch over to the Banshee straight away. Could be a Viking first, and maybe then just a couple of, or maybe even a Medivac after that.
Looking to get a bit of more aggression turned on nice and quick, potentially. Yeah, there's 2 Hellions already out on the field. Another 2 going to be joining those very soon. Stim starts.
Yeah, so it's going to be a Viking, and then maybe a Medivac afterwards. I doubt it. It could be a Medivac first, of course. But I think Viking.
Yeah, he knows that there's overlords already near him, so get some guaranteed damage is always nice, as long as he can kill one and then try and hunt down the other one, which is probably going to retreat.
Yeah, and to be honest, he can still drop with 8 Marines afterwards, after with the Medivac. Roach Warren on the way, though, towards the back. We'll see if he uses it aggressively or not. The spine was built, then cancelled. And 3 overlords opening up the supply here. Are we going to see aggression? He's killing those back rocks. May escape through the back as his route to be aggressive with. Could look at it in that angle as well. As if he keeps the Hellions on the creep on the left-hand side, then escapes out the back. I think that might be the case, actually. I thought he was opening it for the later part of the game.
Yeah, a lot of overlords opening up the supply.
He's going to do it.
A lot of overlords.
He's going to do it.
Yeah, he is.
There it is. 7 roaches on the way. He's going to escape out the back here. And if MMA doesn't see this early, we could have a repeat of game number 1 here. Viking and Medivac on the way. Stim.
Sneaky guy. How often do you actually cover the vision of that back? And not too often.
Yeah, you don't really. That's why, I mean, I didn't even really think about it to be an aggressive outlook for that for him. Third command center down. MMA in the dark. Roaches will escape from the back here. Will any queens prevent anything? Oh, the Viking is on the right, but misses everything. Hellions, what are they going to see, though?
If they have no resistance at all at the top of that ramp, you must be thinking, well, what is going on? But
the Medivac, though, maybe. Oh my God, there's roaches!
Go away,
He's got to build bunkers and go home straight away.
Yeah, definitely.
Can maybe the Hellions get some pot shots here? Maybe not on the roaches per se, but...
Is it a little bit desperate?
No, no, you don't want to lose your Hellions here. MMA loses 2 Hellions instantly.
He needs every unit, absolutely.
Can Golden go through in first place? Here's the Baneling morph. 13 of them. 4 bunkers coming in from MMA. Spotted this late, but not super late.
And more overlords on the way to open up even more supply to rally across here, as once now he starts working on one of these supply depots, trying to open this up. If you can get the Banelings in there without having to break the wall down.
2 bunkers complete in the nick of time.
Oh, they should be able to hold on for quite a bit, but they're next to each other, so the Banelings can kill them off more efficiently. That's a good pickup there for Golden, who goes up the ramp trying to do some more damage. There's only 7 Marines out with this.
Yeah, there's not a lot of units here for MMA. The front wall is broken. The units are inside. There's no combat shields. There is a single barracks. There's 3 command centers, 2 engineer bays. Golden's looking at a first place right now. I don't think this hold's going to be possible for MMA.
Golden goes for the throw. That one Baneling being spent not really effectively at all. Goes down to the Marine in the bunker, but there's 3 more Banelings morphing in. These roaches just sitting on top of this barracks are making it so difficult.
1 unit production and 1 production being used for the factory as well.
A
single Hellion and a single Marauder per cycle.
Extra Lings on the way as well. There's only 1 Marine in the bunker. What's it really going to be able to do? Those 2 Banelings get some good detonations as well on a few SCVs. Extra Banelings morphing in. Golden rallying forwards as he's killing off the rest of the Hellions in the main base. And wow, wow, wow. MMA is almost done here.
He is dead, Cloris. Golden's through in first place. And oh boy, is he happy about that. First place for Golden in the round of 16 from Group C. A very good performance from him here. Very aggressive and tenacious Zerg. He's through in first. And he is very happy, but this guy's not.
No, he is not. That is not the result he expected from that series. As, well, Golden is our Zerg moving through in first place in this group. And Sean, Mr. Sean Apollo Clark, how happy are you right now?
Is a prediction god.
You're pretty happy.
Yeah, I believed in Golden today, and I thought he could advance through, which is why I said he'd go through in first place. But MMA, that's a sour loss there for sure. He's going to be feeling the bitterness of that one for a bit. There's 3 games in a row, 3 aggressive plays. He's probably thinking to himself, why third command center? Why double engineering bay? Why so much greed when I wasn't really going on? How come I didn't use the Hellions to go up to the natural? Why didn't I see the bat? All these things coming through, of course. A very sad loss there for MMA, who will have to play again shortly in a rematch versus Mana.
Yep, and that is going to be coming up pretty darn soon. But before we get to that, let's talk to our first place finisher in Group C. It's Golden.
Thank you, gents. We've decided to come and mob the audience because they've been cheering very loudly for both players this evening. Congratulations, Golden. Fabulous, wasn't it? Very good. So, MMA, I know, is your friend, but enemies now in the game because you have to beat him, right? So you win the first game. Very good. Second game? What did MMA throw? What did MMA do? Amazing, right?
Yeah, he did amazing. Yeah.
It was an incredible hold. No one thought he was going to hold on to that.
I thought I already win that game, so 2-0, but his defense is incredible. So I lost that game.
What about map 3?
Game 3 was mind game because I used the Roach Vein Burst a lot in past and game number 1 and game 2. So I thought he never ever going to bench in game 3. So I decided to play with Roach and Vein again. Then I did it.
Yeah, it was too good. Have you seen Snoop playing Swarm Host versus Terrans? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I saw his play against Terran with the Swarm Host, but honestly, there was not good. I think I never win with Somost against Terran, so I will never use Somost, never ever.
Okay. What about the map choices? Why did you pick Deadwing?
Actually, I really like Deadwing because my style is kind of speedy with links and mutas. But in this series, I never use the muta, but usually I use the muta alright. So Deadwing is my favorite map ever.
Okay, so you're through to the quarterfinals now. That's awesome. 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, it's more best happy.
Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Golden is through. Stay there. He's through. And we're going to do something a little bit different now because we've got a chap with us who can help break down some games. So, Dennis, I happen to think that was an incredible hold from MMA. You heard Golden. He said the same thing.
Yeah, it was insane on Deadwing, the second map. He basically had no idea what was happening for a while, and then the Zerg crushed into his third natural, and he somehow defended it. At some point he even started 2-2. It was crazy, the hold.
So you're going to take us through a little bit of analysis?
Yeah, we can
show
do
us
that.
exactly what went down with the aid of our observer, of course, Funker, who's, I don't know how he's still awake, frankly. Got here this morning, but he's still awake.
Yeah, that's true. So basically that's the first time when he finally found out what is going on. He got some very nice Widowmine shots, and he still has 1 Banshee, right? And it's only a single, it's only a...
Brian the Banshee.
And it's only a single bunker, nothing at the third, basically, to defend. He's trying to defend here, but he will find out there is no way you can defend against this amount. And the Banshee is racking up the kills, 9, 10 already. And we will see a single Queen later on joining the fight, trying to snipe the Banshee, but won't be successful.
But at this point, we were all thinking, okay, this looks really bad for MMA now. It's almost a great composition from Golden. Golden was pretty sure he was going to go and smash this.
Yeah, like 10 Banelings left, a lot of Roaches, Zerglings. We see in the production tab reinforcements for Golden are running over. And MMA, the only thing he has running for him is a very good production and his third base. If we can have a look there, the SCVs are still mining. There's not a single Zergling attacking any of the SCVs. So that's a slight mistake by Golden, I believe. He should have definitely sent a few units over there.
Do you think he was very focused on the attack and he was just trying to, you know, break this down in here?
Let's get it done. That's what he thought. Like, I'm into the natural already. I break down the bunker. There's no additional bunkers, so let's get it done. Try to win right away. And there's the Queen. We can see the Queen.
Trying to take that Banshee down. Well, let's go back. Where's the Banshee now? Let's find him.
Yeah,
so he's up to
kills.
17. Yeah, it's all right. But look, could have gone down. Well, maybe not.
Now the Queen was shut down by a Widow Mine, so now the Banshee pretty much will stay the whole time and defend whatever is coming. And we see the constant stream of Zerg units, but somehow MMA with his production is able to defend it at a certain point.
I mean, it was just incredible play by him. In both bases, exactly the same. He's fighting on several different fronts at the same point. Yeah. Still, then finally, Golden sees that base and thinks, OK, I need to stop that going on as well. And meanwhile, Banshee's continuing on being an absolute pest.
Yeah, 27 kills by now. Once again, Golden is trying to break him. And my feeling was at some point, MMA noticed that he's going to defend, no matter what's happening from now. Because now he's lifting his 30C and he's starting 2-2. I think at this point he was sure he's going to defend, even though there's another big gearing up for an attack. But it looked like he knew exactly that he's going to defend this.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. I mean, every wave upon wave upon wave of attacks. And again, in here as well, 34 kills now for this Brian the Banshee. I mean, just absolutely incredible. He's just such a pain for him, really, because all the action wasn't even near him. He was just kind of blithely shooting at anything that came past.
Yeah, that's the unit that basically changed the whole game. Without killing like Banelings, Roaches, a few Zerglings, I believe, is just the pure amount that the Banshee killed definitely turned the fight.
Yeah, 34 kills. I think he'll get up to 48 kills. So
48
yeah, we'll scoot through and just see the end of this.
Yeah, exactly. 42. And as I mentioned, once the 2-2 started, I felt like MMA knew he was going to defend. And eventually, if 2-2 finishes, he's going to win the game because the Zerg has no follow-up to this.
Yeah, he's going to go and crush him anyway. So, yeah, 49 in the end. So, yeah, 49 kills. Thank you, Funker. Thank you very much to Dennis as well, to Hasselhoff. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, though, we have one more game from Group C. And Mana is still in contention, but he's got to take down MMA. It's going to be a tough one for both players. And, of course, BlizzCon is still on the line for MMA. We'll be right back.
Coming in Shadow Fury. This is going to be at 3K. He's going to go down. Zunaki, that could have meant the kill if they had it, but unfortunately they do not. But the Fear of Zone doesn't matter. It's over.
Priest, I don't believe it. Wow. And that's going to do it. Amon takes the series. So crazy. 2-1 to Priest.
Wow. I love Priest, man.
Welcome back to the World Championship Series Europe Premier League Group C. We are in our final game of the evening, and we have had a fabulous evening of StarCraft 2. Some real crazy strategies, some brilliant victories, and some sensational holds as well, all this evening in our first 4 games. Our 5th game is just moments away. Let's check the bracket and show you where we are in Group C. As I said, we're in our final match of the evening. Golden is the man in the gold box, appropriately at the top of your screen. He is our 5th player into the round of 8, which we played in the first weekend of October. Make sure you get your tickets. MMA versus Mana. The rematch will now take place in the lower bracket. Sean's back with me. And Apollo.
Hello.
Apollo.
That's my name. Don't wear it out.
Predictor extraordinaire. We've worked out that you are actually #1 on the Fantasy League right now, as one of only 3 men in the top 30 that picked Golden to win the group. So congrats on that. That's very impressive. I mean,
thank you, mate.
I'm saying it's impressive. It is impressive, right? But don't take me the wrong way. But you're supposed to be an expert. You're supposed to get this stuff right.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe.
There's no winning, is it? You can't really win, can you?
I had a really good feeling about him today. I watched his 2 Terran games in the round of 32 against Kras and Dacian. He looked really good, aggressive, but at the same time could play a long game. And I just felt it. I don't know what it was. I was like, this guy's going to be number 1 today.
Bit of gut feeling in there, Em.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a massive MMA fanboy, so I was able to see through my fanboyism to actually pick Golden.
It's like fanboy goggles.
Yeah.
That second map, though. That hold.
It was a brilliant hold, yeah. The Banshee was so
as good
important.
as anything we've seen since MVP Season 1.
Yeah, it was up there, definitely up there. Not, I wouldn't say it was as far, because that was coming back from 0 SCVs.
Yeah, I think he had like 40 supply against whatever it was, but it was ridiculous. But
one of the best holds we've seen in a while.
Definitely the best one we've seen, I think, of the season so far. A fabulous way of coming back, but not enough in the end. Your boy taking himself through the round of 8 again.
Yeah, I loved what Golden said in the post-game interview. He said that the mind games have come in because Helen Banshee is the best way to play against Ling Roach, especially if you see it early, because you can defend against it much, much easier. Obviously, Banshees are unstoppable, apparently. But he didn't see it until too late, and then he was 3 command centers, double engineering bay, 1 barracks, 1 factory, just not enough.
Yeah, absolutely. What I also loved about Golden as well is just picking out just the little attention to detail that he had. There was a lovely piece in the first game where he realised that he was getting proxy racks, and his overlord saw it, went the other way, and then turned back around to come back as if he were coming from top right.
Right.
To give MMA the thought, oh, he's up there, oh, okay, now I'll scout that. Just little things like that Golden's got in his armoury that you just don't see from everyone.
Yeah, he's a very, very smart player. If that had been a regular 2 barracks with Marines, the Marines and bunkers would be up to the top right, but it was a Reaper, which is slow, so it didn't quite work, but if it would have, and it was what he expected it to be, then it would have been awesome.
Yeah, very good. Okay, let's move on. MMA versus Mana. Not perhaps, well, actually definitely not the matchup that Mana wanted. He absolutely did not want to play MMA after being dismantled earlier on, but he looked very good against Welmo, and well, we all know how good Welmo is, so where do you put him now? Is he still going to struggle?
Yes, he's still definitely going to struggle here. MMA is so very, very, very good, and if you think about it on a basic level, he got cheesed out in that previous series. This is going to be very difficult. MMA's not going to lose to cheese very easily. He goes Reaper every game. He spots what's going on, and the difference in the class between the first series was huge.
Nimbus has gone from Mana. MMA's going to remove one of the remaining 6 maps. Is there any solace in any of these maps for Mana? I'm really stabbing in the dark here a little bit. But
the maps aren't going to... I mean, sure, they assist you a little bit, but even if you get a map that's favoured in your side, you're playing MMA.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't matter.
And we're not going to get one because Foxtrot's probably going to go here as well. Yeah, there you go.
Same
so Cavalier,
maps as
Deadwing, Foxtrot, Nimbus, no change whatsoever.
So I think it really comes down to Mana just buckling up, playing a much tighter game than previously, because it was, at the end of the day, his own mistakes that cost him the series.
Put yourself in Mana's position right now. You know you've lost heavily the first game. What do? Do you change things? Do you become a bit more random? Do you play safe? Do you scout early? What do you do?
I would play the same again, exactly the same again, because I know that Mana would have come into that series with a lot of preparation. It was his first game of the day. He knew he was playing MMA. He would have prepared against it. Do what you prepared, but do it better. I wouldn't suggest changes.
So just remove the mistakes, in other words.
Yeah. And then because we didn't even get to see his full plan unfold because he got stopped by his own mistakes before he could get into the swing of things.
Yeah, okay, while they set up, just a very quick look forward to tomorrow because I want to get people hyped and excited about tomorrow. It's Group D for the death of Daishi. I think that's the only way I can put it. I've already spoken to him as well. He knows that's what I've called it. Yeah. It's a really tough group, joking aside.
I mean, Daishi can, you know, he's decent against Terran, but he's never, ever taken a single map away from 4GG, and he's landed in the group with 2 players who are contesting for the title. It's unbelievably difficult for him.
He's a combined 34 and 4. Yeah. He's won 4 maps against the 3 players and lost 34. And it's 18-0 with 4GG. I mean, he even knows it himself. He was like, I'm 0-18 against 4GG. Yeah. Why could I have played anyone else? Why'd I have to play him? Why'd I have to play my teammate?
I know for a fact that he wished he was in Group A with a group full of Europeans.
I think they all do.
He's actually just landed in the most difficult group he ever could have landed in.
But I did speak to him as well just before we came on air, and I said to him, actually, that's all right for you. No one will expect you to win. There won't be any expectations there. You can be really relaxed, really chilled, play some crazy strategies, play some cheese, do whatever you want. And the other pressure is on all the other 3 players.
Yeah, but to be honest, that's actually where Daishi excels.
Yeah.
You've seen him at Home Story Cups when he's wearing sunglasses and not giving a damn really, and just kind of playing however he wants to play. He's actually got results doing it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other 3 players are fantastic. I mean, we've got MC, who won Season 1. We've got Stardust, who won Season 2. Both of them are qualified for BlizzCon. Yeah. No pressure on them in that respect, but 4GG is probably the man who's under the most pressure in that group.
Yeah, I mean, he should beat Daishi, of course, but going up against 2 champions there, especially because 4GG is looking brilliant this season. If he hadn't landed in that group, I would have said definite top 8, but because he has, now it's going to be very hard for him.
Yeah, very tricky. Okay, MMA and Mana are almost ready, it looks like, so I don't even want to ask you, really, because I think I know the answer. This is MMA's to lose, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be 2-0. It's his BlizzCon place at hand, and when anything gets in the way of that is when he just goes gung-ho and won't let you even get close to come to a win.
All right, thank you very much, Apollo. We're from Apollo at the end of the program as he wraps up the evening with our other 2 commentators who are waiting for us to bring you the final game of Group C. Does MMA's BlizzCon dream stay alive? Mana's in his way. Let's find out whether he can do it with your commentary team, Kalaris and Hasselhobbs.
All right, second place on the line in Group C between Mana and MMA. King Sejong Station will be our first map between these 2, and oh boy, has Mana got a tall order to fill.
Definitely. The first best of 3 didn't look good at all for him. Nothing was going his way, and yeah, he has to bring his A game, probably even more than his A game.
Yeah.
While MMA has to play weaker than the games before. Because he looked so strong. Even in the games he lost against Golden, he looked very strong. And there was just, some points, there was just no way of coming back, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mana has 3 wins, 6 losses against MMA. Not a good record. And most of the games, I believe, were in Wings of Liberty. And since Heart of the Swarm, I believe MMA won almost every single engagement.
Yeah, it's been difficult for Mana, that's for sure. And Mana, you know, before this was theorizing, you know, do I just go standard? Do I try what I did before? What do I do? Because there is not a whole lot that is going to break this guy in this matchup. If he is able to overcome this, then that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. But it's going to take a very, very minor miracle at this point.
I was talking to Mana. I was watching the MMA Golden Games, and Mana was kind of cheering that MMA would win because he said he would rather like to play against Golden.
All right,
then. Didn't really work out.
Well, let's get into it. Game number 1 of our final series of the night, as we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand side. It's our Red Terran representing Team Acer. It is MMA. And up to the top left, we have our blue Protoss representing Team Liquid in colors. It is Mana.
So it's King Sejong Station again, as in the first best of 3, and MMA was going for Reaper into Proxy Factory into Proxy Starport. I doubt he will do it again. Maybe we'll see a complete switch up, maybe something like CC first, just to throw Mana off his game. On the other hand, Mana, both games he played, he was going for an early Twilight Council with Blink, followed up by Colossus. On the first map on King Sejong, after he defended the Widow Mine drop, he was doing some decent damage. He was delaying Stim Pack, was able to kill a few units, but not really able to put a lot of pressure on the Terran and then falling apart afterwards. And on the second map, it didn't really work out at all. So maybe he will switch up his playstyle even more. Maybe something like a Stargate would be nice. Maybe an early Robo. Just to, like, if he wants to play standard, he could try to go like all the way.
Yeah, I still think Mana has to bring, I guess, some tricks to the table against MMA here, because MMA's straight-up game is going to be very solid. MMA understands this matchup very, very well. He understands when poking forwards with a few units, what their reaction will be forced out of the Protoss opponent, and then, you know, an extra follow-up after that, what that's going to do to his Protoss opponent. And generally, dealing with someone who fully understands the nuances early on in this matchup can be very, very hard for a Protoss. So when it comes to MMA is going to be looking strong from the very get-go here.
Yeah, and MMA, as you mentioned, he's very smart at getting the photon overcharge at moments where the Protoss don't want to use it.
Baiting it out.
Yeah, bait it out. And also overall, like, very good Doom drops, even though some people might think it's very easy, but he really takes the best opportunities to go for it. And he's looking very, very solid against Protoss. Almost no flaws from what I saw in the first best of 3.
Yeah, it's about drawing your opponent away from the locations and then hitting hard elsewhere. But we already saw him on this map exploit his opponent very, very well. A great drop on the right-hand side. Vikings in tandem to bring down and gun down those Colossi. So Mana, even with standard openers, you know, Colossus play and then transitioning on, still has to be wary as to what could happen. This Probe, sneaky little guy, has been able to keep himself alive for a while.
It's going to be a second scout, I believe. Mana's not going to proxy anything with this scout, I think. With this Probe, sorry. I think he's trying to get in second time to scout the factory timing or the additional barracks. And MMA knows about it. His Reaper is on patrol.
Yeah, over a large location, because he knows that the Rip Probe is somewhere and trying to get up this ramp, but he doesn't know which angle it's going to be coming from, so you need to cover all of this area. Probe is being super sneaky now and is going to go all the way. Oh. Uh-oh, wait a minute. That's not where I was expecting it to go. It's actually
That doesn't look like a scout to me.
No. That does not.
So how much gas does he have? Around... Okay, he just spent a few. I guess he's... What did he build with 100 gas? Ah, Robo, okay.
Robo.
So what could it be? Just a... Yeah.
With the positioning, maybe a slightly delayed Stargate or something, or...
Yeah. Or maybe we just have to wait. It could be still just for scouting.
It could just be for later on to end up throwing down a pylon. I mean, there are options available here to Mana.
Definitely, yeah. MMA is getting Hellions, by the way, with a reactor. So he was switching up the reactor from the barracks to the factory, getting Hellions, and he will get a medevac as well. So it will be, I think, 6 Marines, 4 Hellions, and a medevac flying over to the Protoss, or the Hellions will move and the Marines will be in the medevac.
Go flash style. It's always nice to see that build come out. As Mothership Corp, one more shot. Okay, Stalker's going to have to get back there as well.
There's no way out for the Reaper, so it will eventually die. There we go. And did you see the Robo? Yes. Yeah, okay. So he knows exactly what's going on. And yeah, you were right about the Stargate. It's not being proxied.
Yeah.
But it is a delayed Stargate.
I have seen him do this a few times. He has liked to give it a go, and it can throw the Terran off guard. I mean, if you see the Robo, especially, of all things, if you've given your opponent the information of a Robo, are you really expecting an Oracle to fly in or something?
You want him to see the Robo.
Yes.
That's a very good point, yeah. You want to see, like, he should scout the Robo, and then you're like, okay, now I drop my Stargate. On the other hand, MMA will most likely find out about the Stargate because he's going for such an aggressive opening here. 4 Hellions with a medevac drop. The Observer saw the medevac though, and the Probe at the Watchtower sees exactly the flying route, so that's a very good scout for Mana.
And Photon Overcharge is very important here because he's still only on 1 gateway, right? Whilst all of this is going on, adding on extra gateways now, but doesn't have too many units available to him. That's why this Mothership Call is in patrol.
I like it. Mana is evacuating is natural, knowing that he has only 1 gate so far, so he doesn't have a lot of units, so he makes sure that the Probe losses he's suffering is very minimal.
Yeah, Stalker's going to try and hold on against these Marines. There's only 6 Marines you got to remember. Stargate hasn't been spotted yet. Good block at the front, whilst the Marines try and go work on the Probes, and they're actually killing quite a few.
Yeah, he's getting... Oh, and he also killed a Stalker. This is going horrible for Mana again.
that medevac is adding so much longevity, even just to a few Marines here, which kills off 10 workers overall.
Oh, and it survives. I can't believe it.
Wow. Wow,
Does
wow,
he get
wow.
the last Stalker? No, not quite. He was not really focusing. There is Oracle on the map, though.
Yeah.
Can he deal a lot of damage to the Terran?
Well, he spotted the Stargate during all of that. He's scrambling to get an engineering bay up to try and defend against it, but he does have a few Marines back at home. It really depends where this Oracle's going to hit, because for now, the Observer is keeping good eyes on the positioning of the Marines at least. And he's going to go in, get a few more kills, even things up a little bit. Actually goes for the Marines to start things off, but Marines from the left-hand side, he's got to be very careful. He actually takes down a lot of them, in fact, all of them. Wow.
But is it really worth it? I mean, if he... Ah, yeah, okay, he still has a lot of energy, so yes, it was definitely worth it. 13, 14 kills. Keep in mind, 7 of them have been Marines, but wow, this is Oracle.
All right, chill out, Oracle. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. All
there
right.
we go. 20 kills. That was an angry one.
That was an angry who just releases it. Oh, well. Viking's going to hunt that down now.
MMA is adding tanks. He does have 3 tanks right now. This is something we saw from Maru playing. It was also on King Sejong Station, I believe, in the GSL.
And Hellion's being ferried into the Marine. The Oracle will end up dying. Hellion's looking for an opportunity.
So risky. 7 HP on the medevac, but good control there by MMA.
Yeah. Trying to get a few workers killed here. Doubling up those shots so they can just focus down probes one at a time. But at least he saw behind all of that the fact that the forge was being worked on. There's a second forge going down. He knows he's going to be playing against that double forge kind of style.
Yeah, so this is a switch up from like not only the Stargate, but also way earlier forges from what we saw in the first best of 3. Mana was getting a lot of units and delaying his forges for quite a while. And the push out in 6, it was Teja. It wasn't
He's going to the rocks.
Yeah. It was Teja against Stardust.
Yeah.
Now I remember where I saw it.
But if the rocks are broken down, how effective is this really going to be? He's got 12 Marines with this, but if that Immortal actually catches a siege tank...
Mana knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
He's actually greeting the Terran army. Yeah, he saw the Observer, obviously saw the army
Saw
leaving.
the siege tanks.
Yeah.
So understood that there was going to be the potential of this as he's splitting off his Immortals now to try and get a little bit of a better engagement on this if it's to push forwards. And it looks like MMA has kind of given up that territory. Doesn't want to risk too much here.
But it's a huge commitment for MMA.
Yeah.
He has another tank at home and still the tech lab on the factory, so he was definitely planning to do some damage with it. And I have to tell you that tanks in the Bioforce, the later the game goes, the worse they are. They don't provide a lot of sustain or even damage in the fight unless you have a perfect sieged up position with buildings in front of you or something like this.
Yeah, definitely. Especially once the Protoss force becomes more fully rounded, we should say, like with Charge being in there, for example, for Zealots to get like right on top of the army, as well as all the Colossi that are now going to enter the fray as well.
Yeah, definitely. 100% right. And Mana is getting the 3rd base on the left side. That's you can do that. It's definitely a possibility, especially after you took down the rocks and you don't want to be spread that much. But does he... Yeah, I think he saw the army once again. Ooh. He lost a little bit of track, though.
He's going to keep going, so he will find it. I was expecting him to pull back there and go for another angle, but the siege tanks are already heading over here as well. As Thermal Lance is quite an important upgrade against something like this. You do need range against an army as range-heavy as this army.
Yeah, you need range in general. Even against Bio, you definitely want to have the range. But he has I think two Immortals, right, with the composition, so they provide a lot of firepower.
An army supply, tip of the hat to Todd, as he's always going on about 81 army supply against, say, around 50-some. But Mana has actually been able to rocket up from that 50 position to 70 now quite rapidly to try and reinforce. So he's going to have to hold on at this location, but siege tanks are going to slowly creep forward towards that Nexus.
And he has Vikings as well, so he has a lot of long range against the Colossus. He's actually getting in position to shoot at the Nexus.
Yeah, and he's forcing the army to come to him, basically. That's a great siege line he's got with no opportunity to flank for Mana. This Nexus is under a lot of threat right now.
MMA has to be careful, though. A lot of shots in the Bio there, but I think he will get the Nexus eventually. One more stim, one more hit of the Marauders, and it will fall down.
Bye-bye Nexus. Good pick up there by MMA to start things off in this series.
There seems to be a flank on the right side, a few units on the minimap walking down. It's only 3 Zealots, though. Will they? That's not a very strong flank.
Not the best. One siege tank falls instantly at the front lines there as he's going to move on forwards. No Zealot charge during this, but a very, very heavy Zealot composition as they manage to get on top of this army. The Zealots from the back actually do help quite a bit. And the blink forwards.
The medevac is full of units, but it actually survives. 24 HP. And yeah, you were right about so many Zealots, even though there was no charge. He got so many Zealots that they tank so much damage from the tanks, from the bio, from basically everything. And MMA just overstayed his welcome. He got what he came for, kill the Nexus.
And then back out.
And then back out. That's what you should do, I guess. But he was staying a little bit too long and got punished for it. Luckily for him, he almost saved every single bio unit. He lost his tanks, and as I said before, I don't think they provide that much in the later stages. And we will see if this drop is actually doing some counter damage now.
Yeah, but with that little bit vulnerable after he'd lost that, so brings back his third command center, making sure he's okay. And this drop, in essence, has seen the positioning of the army now, so he probably could just fly back there and start mining from his third after seeing that.
Free Viking there, definitely not planned at all. Especially against the Colossus style.
Yeah, that's true. How many Colossi are we up to? 2 at the moment. Third one's just about to pop. And 2-2 upgrades are on the way, technically for both players, but Mana has an opportunity to chrono boost furiously into those forges and actually find himself with the 2-2 timing, but how often are you going to try and hit that against the Terran in this position?
I mean, the 2-2 for the Terran is on the way. The +2 attack is pretty far as well, so it's going to be hard to hit 2-2 against 1-1. But you could go for that. I mean, Mana is trying to get his third Nexus. He stopped his pro production for a while, though, I believe. So he's on 53, yeah. MMA is on 52, so very even on that, but keep in mind the mules. And the DTs will maybe make the difference here.
Yeah, they've been mixed in at a very interesting timing, actually. Not one that you normally see too much of. So landing a Viking and might even, if he dropped a scan for that, then...
To be honest, I completely missed that as well, that he made the Dark Shrine. And it's a beautiful timing.
And this is why Zealot Charge is pretty damn good against those tanks, especially when they were naked. The bio was on the left and the right-hand side, leaving them exposed. Mana's going to jump at the opportunity to take down a lot of this army. And, I mean, where are the Viking numbers? The Colossi go uncontested.
Yeah, he only has very few Vikings on the field. He did some damage from the DTs as well. He's down to 43 SCV, so actually I really have to say I completely missed the Dark Shrine, and it's a brilliant move by Mana. As you mentioned, it's at the timing where the Terran really doesn't expect it, especially just landing the third, not having a turret there. And Mana not saturating his third at all. He's just going all out units right now.
And this is a ballsy move here by MMA. He needs actually quite a lot of units to back at home against these 3 Colossi, that are, as well as this force. It is going to be pushing forwards. GG, there you go. It was just too much.
Wow.
MMA realized he was probably going to lose that push anyway, I feel, and then was like, well, if you're not going to go for it, I may as well try and do some damage elsewhere. But he went for it, and that was just the case.
That was definitely not the right strategic call by MMA, I believe. He was so dominant with his standard, like, bio medevac Vikings.
Yes.
And this time he was going for a kind of gimmicky build where you siege up the gas, like from the low ground, but he didn't even get to the position. And, I mean, yes, he got the Nexus, but Mana was not really building that many probes anyways.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, take my Nexus, I take your whole army.
The Observer, in the end, for Mana, just read the game well. Saw those siege tanks, and it's like, well, you know, this is a possibility. If I break down these rocks, I mean, is it really hurting me at this point? Like, it's only ever going to aid me against a siege tank-based play. So, game number 1 goes to Mana, and we now are in a situation where a previous WCS champion is 1 game away from being eliminated in a group that was considered by a lot his.
Yeah, absolutely right. I wonder if MMA maybe thought he would be further behind after losing so many SCVs to the Oracle. Because I was just checking the income tab, or the resource graph. He was basically always ahead of Mana, because Mana lost a lot of probes to the Marines, but maybe he wasn't really 100% sure how many probes he got.
Right.
And how much damage he took from the Oracle. Because he was very committed to his siege tank attack.
Well, next map is going to be Merry-Go-Round.
Oh.
And, well, we see a lot of very aggressive players from Protoss on this map.
We see MMA not happy at all so far with this map, as you mentioned.
He's got to enter killer mode. MMA has got to actually enter killer mode at this point, because he's 1 map away from being eliminated in the round of 16, which is going into this season, looking to move on to BlizzCon. This is not where he wants to be. Not at all. Of course, he wants that BlizzCon position. He's ranked number 17. He's on the bubble. So let's get into it. Game number 2, spawning up to the top right-hand corner. It's that man in red, representing Team Acer. It is MMA. And down to the south, we have our blue Protoss, 1 game away from the round of 8. And that's important because it would be his first ever round of 8 in WCS Europe. It is Liquid Mana.
Yeah, and a very, very nice mix-up as well with the late Stargate. A very good call with the Oracle to go for the Marines first, then focus on the SCVs. MMA did not try to slide them away. Was just basically standing there and taking the shots. And yeah, he lost a lot of SCVs, he lost a lot of firepower with the Marines that were gone. And it's going to be tough. Marigo is definitely a map where he could be tricky as well. Mana, that is, obviously.
And remember, folks, what's very important here, what's very, very important for MMA is the fact that if he does not do well here, if he does not move on to the round of 8, which is oh so important for his qualification through to BlizzCon, is that going to DreamHack, he would need at least a top, well, he would need a top 2 finish,
top 2
basically.
Even. Okay, wow.
Big stakes are on the line for MMA here. Big stakes indeed, because if he does not hit it home here, all year long, he's on about BlizzCon, 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 BlizzCon. I want to go to BlizzCon. Yeah. He remembers the roar of that crowd back when he won at BlizzCon, and he wants that feeling again.
And man, DreamHack Stockholm is very, very... has a very tough lineup, so...
It's getting tense.
Aiming for the top 2, that's the final, right? So...
You've got people like Sue there. Like, I mean, I could go through the list for days, but Sue alone, for me, is like, whoa. Like, so...
He has just to, like, in the first best of 3, he looked very strong. You just have to remember, like, what he did there. And I think if he plays like that, he definitely has a very good shot of beating Mana. And Mana, I think, he should take the same way again. Be a little bit tricky. Not too much though, because I think there was a very nice build order. Robo into Stargate, into Colossus with Blink. Looked very, very nice. Even 2 Forges, double upgrades.
Yeah.
So he switched it up, and it worked out very well for him. But yeah, I have to say, MMA's firepower overall has been way weaker because of the tank building. And
definitely.
No Vikings at all.
I mean, how are you going to deal with those 3 Colossi, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? There's not a whole lot. He tried to pit all of his hopes eventually after having I would say a very terrible engagement angle from him with the 3 siege tanks once Zealot Charge was done, because of how powerful it is against that. You cannot have naked siege tanks in that situation. No. Not at all. The Bio has to be in front and has to be dealing with the Zealots very effectively.
And then you get friendly fire by the tanks when the Zealot charge in. It's like, yeah, I agree. It's it was a gimmicky build by MMA as well, and it didn't pay off. So on merry-go-round, he's playing it more standard right now. Reaper into CC. Once again, the Reaper... very defensive. He didn't scout with it. He's now checking for any kind of proxy stuff. He might be able to find the probe.
He's going to have to check open area, which is oftentimes not that common. Everyone normally just checks around perimeters. As for now, the Reaper is not currently on the path to find that probe.
No.
Who's on a watchtower, and that will make it even harder for that to find.
But they will probably greet each other.
They're going to converge. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Hi. What up?
Good pickup by MMA.
Where are you going?
I'll catch you.
We'll take out the probe. We'll check for any proxies in the main base. I really love it by MMA to see that.
If you're in this situation, Hasu, you are a pro Protoss player. What would you mind be going to here? You're 1 up against MMA. You're 1 match away from the round of 8. Do you on a map like merry-go-round? Do you risk it? Do you go for something aggressive? Do you try and break him?
I think if you have a build prepared, you should definitely go for that. I mean, Mana, I'm pretty sure he knows that the first map, it wasn't a gift, but it was way easier from the strategic choice by MMA than it would have been a straight-up game. So, yeah, he's leading 1-0, and I think if he has something prepared, he should definitely show it now or never, because if you win 2-0, perfect.
Well, there's the Robo Bay. Very, very fast here during all of this. And the thing is, though, is that MMA is moving across the map. He's just finished concussive shells, and he's going to be poking and prodding. So how well is this little defense going to be able to hold up?
One of the Stalkers, okay.
Realizes concussive shells is there. He knows he has to be very, very careful with these Stalkers. Photon Overcharge is going to be activated. He tries to deny the Reaper from jumping in. That Reaper was looking for the opportunity to find information inside his opponent's base.
I think Mana is going for an all-in here. What does the scan see? Where is he scanning right now? Actually, he was scanning for an observer. Okay, yeah, and he got it. That's very important as well. It's very, very annoying for the Protoss player, but I think Mana is going for a 2-base Colossus all in here.
That's why I got the feeling of as well.
But we have to wait and see. He's still he's very little on probes right now. He halted the production for a while when the attack was coming because he was very scared of it.
And I mean, look how compared to the previous time, look how defensively he's playing. He's got so many Marines in the main base waiting for something kind of a little bit crazy coming along, but the first Colossus is already on the way.
Yeah, but the supply block really hurts him. 60-60, he had to build 2 pylons. It's very, very annoying, and now he's getting a forge behind it. Is that because he noticed that his timing might be too late now? So he's going for a standard follow-up. He's going to get Blink, he's going to get +1 armor. Obviously, with the 3rd Colossus, or like 2nd, 3rd Colossus, you're going to get Thermal Lance. The question is, when will he decide to get into High Templars? Or will he stick on Coloss production for a while?
Yeah, we'll find out in a little bit. He's actually keeping these Colossi hidden at the back of his mineral line, but the scan there does reveal the extent of Mana's current tech. So, and sees also the +1 weapon starting under that scan. So it's got to give him a little bit of comfort, considering, you know, that takes a while.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, if you see the forge like this, you only saw 3 gateways. It could be still an all-in. But I think for now he feels okay. Like, he will try to confirm with his first 2 medevacs what kind of build order that is. He will try to poke in and see if Mana has a lot of gateways or not.
And Mana's setting up pylons on the left-hand side, so these pylons to me scream the idea of, well, trying to spot medevacs if they were coming along. Of course, they can reinforce and kind of try and push across, but units from that location do take quite a while to get over there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, scouting for medevacs and having the opportunity to send a few zealots to the 3rd base, especially if there's no bunker.
Yeah. Well, now Blink as well as +1 armor are on the way, adding on a few more gates. 3 gates, in fact, and still no sign of a 3rd base, which MMA does see. He has a Marine positioned to be able to spot that, and we see Mana now finding himself a 3rd base as well.
Is he? Okay, never mind. He's stimming in with 1 Marine, just trying to check the size of the army. He does see the Twilight Council. He sees it's upgrading right now. He will confirm that there are Colossus. No, very smart by Mana, pulling away the Colossus several times. So they haven't been seen, or he can verify how much of, like, he used the RoboBay tech.
I mean, let's think. Okay, so he's actually getting an observer as well. It's getting to the point where the 3rd's very, very late here for Mana. Do you not think?
It is very late, but that's how it is on Merry-Go. If you take the 3rd too early, you will die. You will be punished. Unless you play like without forges and mass unit style, then you maybe can take it. But I think 11:45, that's okay-ish. I mean, obviously you want to have it earlier, but that's how they may play.
He's looking for the snipe. Actually, he's going to get it. There's no way to stop that.
Okay.
Oh, and well, this is one reason, I guess, why you have to take it late. And even then, it still takes a while.
Yeah, so he has to rebuild it. And Mana is mixing in Immortals. So 3 Colossus into Immortals with Templar Archives. And that's exactly the moment when we see the 2nd starport. So this is good for Mana. While for MMA, if he overproduces Viking, now, he might have a problem. But on the other hand, I think he's gearing up for a very, very strong attack. Maybe even with SCVs.
Yeah, could be doing. With that 2nd starport about to finish up, he's going to get a lot of Vikings out very quickly. Ghost Academy's on the way as well. Did he actually even see the Templar Archives?
No, not yet.
But, I mean, if he goes with 3 Ghosts, I mean, that's a very, very standard timing that we see come out.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to mention that you can be very aggressive with 3 Ghosts, the double starport, and you have 2-1 upgrades. It's exactly what MMA is working on.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit like that timing, so that's something that Heron played very, very often for a while, so Mana should have practice against it.
And let's not forget, I mean, this is MMA's tournament life on the line. He has to bring out the game that is going to give him the best opportunity to win this. If he feels that that is the best opportunity with these 3 Ghosts on the way in about 30 seconds time, then, well, we're going to see some fireworks, because that 3rd base is very hard to hold here for Mana.
Yeah, Storm is on the way, a 3rd Immortal as well. The 3rd base is being poked once more, but there's no way you can kill it right now.
MMA is adding on 3 barracks behind this at the 3rd base.
Okay.
So
he decided to, yeah, whatever he wanted to do, he's not committing yet.
Not just yet, not just yet. I think he understands that his 3rd base is a whole lot earlier than his opponent's. So maybe that gives him a little bit of peace of mind. But Storm is going to be finished soon, and that's a lot of AoE damage that Mana's going to have.
Yeah, Mana's adding the 2nd Forge now. He feels a little bit more comfortable once Storm is ready. He does have gas. Yeah, he's warping in 2 more High Templars, so He completely stopped building Colossus for now. He's going to be safe with Immortal, Charge Lot, High Templar, and Storm, obviously. While MMA, if he wants to attack, he has to land his EMPs.
Oh, and he just drops a scan just out of this observer's vision that did see the Vikings rendezvous with this army in the middle. No SCV's coming with this, so it's just going to be a straight-up, almost maxed out army. 118 army supply against 93. All the scans drop to actually catch the positioning of this army, and Mana was confined to a corner there. Has to be careful. EMPs land.
But he gets a ghost, 3 ghosts, and only one of the High Templars got EMP'd.
Uh-oh, okay, are these Vikings going to be able to do enough to bring down these Colossi quick enough? The Storms aren't that amazing just yet, as the army for MMA has a brilliant arc. A Storm lands on the right-hand side, killing off a little bit of that army, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Another good Storm, though. But will it even hold back?
He has more Storms.
Oh, trying to catch him. Gets on top of these High Templars. The Vikings land as well, bringing down the Archons, bringing down the High Templars. The cannon is going to fall as well, and there's not much to actually reinforce here. Only Zealots alone. Yeah. It's not going to work out.
Yeah, even though his EMP didn't land on the High Templars, I think he got some beautiful EMPs on the army.
GG. MMA ties up the series with just true, standard, solid macro Terran.
Man, that could have gone either way, I believe. If Mana maybe spreads a little bit more, and 2 of his High Templars with very full energy were in the natural and main base, so the last Storms he hit, when the very good ones, they came a little bit too late. If you hit them earlier, because the High Templars are in position, then maybe MMA can push through. And you get the time you need for maybe like adding one or two more Colossus to be in a very good position.
Well, 1 map left now. Overgrowth will be our map. Do you feel that it's a little bit easier here for Protoss to at least take a quicker third merry-go-round?
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to help out that kind of plan a little bit better if he wants to go for that again.
Definitely, yes. Yeah, you can take the third a little bit earlier here. So what did Mana do? It was just very straight up. There was no Warp Prism in the mix, no Stargate, no DTs, something like that. Yeah, Overgrowth. It's a very straight up map, actually. It's the best map we have in the map pool, I believe. Like all races actually like Overgrowth. It's being picked the most in WCS, I believe.
Yes, yeah. I believe so. It's been around for a while. That might be one reason.
Yeah, obviously.
So, yeah.
That also speaks for the map as being very solid.
True. All right, let's get into it. The final game of the night. One of these guys is moving on to the round of 8. MMA can actually not lose this if he wants to keep good, strong hopes alive going on. Let's get into things. Spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner, it's our red Terran. Representing Team Acer, it is MMA. And up to the top right-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss. Representing Team Liquid, it's Mana.
I don't know what to say. It's a cool best of 3 so far.
Yeah.
I really like it, yeah.
Still options, I feel, for Mana, though. Still options.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, we've seen people like Wellmu, for example, using very aggressive 2-base plays on this map and doing very well.
Yeah, you know, before the game started, Wellmu was like, MMA is not so good against all-ins. I would all-in him.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, you have to tell Mana, not me. And I was like, yeah, I told him before, but I don't think Mana is that good of an all-in player. I was like, no, definitely not as good as you, Wellmu.
No.
And he was agreeing. He was like, yeah, it's true.
Wellmu is one of the kings of all when it comes to Protoss 2-base against Terrans.
It's very aggressive builds, definitely.
But he takes pride in it, and why on earth not? If you're going to win a game like that and hit it really hard, you know, you are a feared player. You are a feared player.
Especially if you can mix it up like both styles.
Yeah. All right, so actually being extra cautious, checking his main base as well, just to make sure that MMA is keeping things normal and down the line here in this last game of the night.
And that's important, because MMA, he was down 0-1 against Golden, and then that's what the map where he proxy Rexed on Deadwin, like in the middle of the map, going for a proxy Reaper.
So MMA's not afraid.
He's not afraid, not at all. And I like it, that Mana is going for an early scout, even checking his natural and his main base, just in case if there's a proxy barracks, because last week we saw Yoda doing it.
Yes, we did.
Against Sun, I believe. So.
And he made it look pretty easy, actually.
Yeah, definitely. If it's not scouted, we'll kill you.
Yoda's looking good this season. Looking good. We'll see more of him
And once again, the probe is trying to sneak out, but I think this time MMA is actually not falling for it. Yes.
I'll sit around here.
Yeah.
And deny.
Because it happened in almost every game, I think. The first best of 3 and just the last one as well.
Yeah.
But he's not going for an eBay block, so...
Get out of my way. Okay, has to leave. Nexus is going to be thrown down. Look at they split behind that.
He even cancelled the Zealot, so Mothership Core is on the way. Additional barracks, so we won't see any kind of Hellions or Widow Mine drops.
Okay, so the big question is how is Mana gonna play out the mid game for me? I feel I fully anticipate from MMA side of things to not play anything too wacky. I think he feels so comfortable in his macro ability especially after that game. Although, you know, Merry-Go-Round's a little bit of an odd situation to just kind of play this straight up. 3 barracks is going to allow him to put on some pressure early on. Maybe hunt out for those fortune overcharges, which would always be nice, as that command center is about to finish up.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, I think especially Twilight Council again. So that's what we saw in the first best of 3, like 3-gate blink. Then he was following up with a Robo into Colossus. I don't see him making early DTs. I think it would be nice to see, because maybe it will actually caught MMA completely off guard. But it's such a huge gamble. If your DTs don't do anything, you're basically so far behind.
Yeah.
I mean, you invest so much into it, you have to deal damage. And the Reaper might even find out about the Council.
It's all the way in the back corner, so he has quite a bit of time to be able to delay that Stalker. Is he going to be able to intercept in time? Is he going to even go down there?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Okay.
A Robo right away.
I think he may have abandoned the plans.
Could it be DT drops?
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. There's Blink on the way.
Okay, okay. Guess he's going to be used that for defensive purposes here during all of this. As with the Robo on the way as well, has a little bit of opportunity to transition on once he's dealt with any kind of aggression.
MMA should be careful with moving out like this. He spots the Twilight Council. Maybe he will just take the Watchtower though. But if you spot the Twilight Council and the Protoss actually has like 3 gateways already, he didn't check behind the natural or somewhere. And if the Protoss starts to warp in a lot of Stalkers, you will get punished for that.
Yeah, it's a very, very scary spot. Very scary. Those two, the Marauders are very, very important in that. But even if your opponent has a lot of Stalkers, they can actually, if there's no concussive shell there, you can actually like get good angles and try and focus down the Marauders and then come back. And
yeah,
so
exactly.
you can dance with it and make it very, very difficult for the Terran.
And Mana is still hiding a probe nearby the third of MMA. MMA is looking for it right now. There's a Marine. I think they won't see each other though. It's very close, but
close call.
Yeah. Nope.
Unless he moved.
Okay, so yeah, it's probably just for scouting, I believe, because it doesn't look like Mana want to be aggressive at all. He's adding his Robo Bay, he's adding a Forge. And he, of course, first of all, he has to defend against the combat shield attack that is on the way. With Stimpack, though. Yeah, it's completely 3 Rex before anything else, so MMA wants to deal damage here.
It's a strong force, very strong force. Army supply, 32 to 10. Ooh. Yeah. All right, but those 2 gateways finishing up means that the triple warpins can start occurring. And
just in time.
Yeah, Robo Bay's just about to finish up. So you just need to buy some time for that Colossus, but it's he's going to have to buy quite a bit of time. Photon Overcharge needs to work really, really well. He's actually just going to keep going.
Yeah, he has to. The Terran has to.
Oh, the Nexus. He's going to try and bring this down.
Mana has to fight.
There's no way to save it. There's absolutely no way to save it. It's going to fall. MMA with a great pickup here in game number 3. Brings that down. He's going to take the fight straight. No more Photon Overcharge. No extra damage. The Stalker's going to have to be microed so perfectly. Yes, he kills off the majority of the Bioforce, but he's lost so much of his income.
That was a neat call by MMA. Like, straight away he was going for the Nexus, and Mana, he had hesitated a little bit, like 5 seconds before he actually pulled his probes and was like, no, you're not going to get my Nexus.
And MMA now, he's bunkering up behind this. He knows that all he has to do is kind of hold on against anything that would be the follow-up, and he's going to be absolutely flying ahead. His income is vastly superior right now. He's adding on his production. He's getting +1 upgrades. I think all he has to do now is worry about any kind of Colossus poking forwards, but even that won't have range.
Yeah, they don't have range. Mana is still rebuilding his Nexus. It will take a while. He's adding 3 sentries at home right now, and this is looking extremely good for MMA. Mana is even supply blocked because of that.
Oh.
Everything is on hold, basically. He can't warp in units. He can't produce probes. The only thing he's producing is a Colossus.
What a pounce. What a pounce by MMA. I mean, after seeing the Twilight Council, after realizing that there wasn't going to be the follow-up, during all of that, just pushing on forward. I mean, getting the Twilight Council before the Robo, right, it delays the Robo, so it's going to delay the Colossus from coming out. So I guess all of these things are going on in MMA's head, and he realizes he can just push for that big, big damage.
Yeah, and Mana realized too late what was going on. I remember Hastem against Jakji. Jakji was going for the same build, but Hastem, he had the feeling it was coming. I think he even scouted it, and he got an Immortal, for example. And he prevented the Terran from really committing towards the Nexus. So this is a tough spot. Mana isn't out 100%, but it's going to be a very hard road for him.
Going to be difficult. Third command center is on the way for MMA, whilst the Nexus and the Natural is only really just completed up for Mana now, and is starting to work away at those minerals once again. So he's trying to get the Colossi out, and did he forget range, or did he finish it?
No, you, like...
I mean, I guess he couldn't afford it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like, you can't get it right now. You have to get at least a second Colossus, and then you will probably start it, but he's so low on gas.
This is a brutal position.
He warped in 3 sentries. That's one more than you usually want to have, I believe. Or at least for most Protoss, I would say.
Yeah.
So maybe if he wouldn't have get the 3rd sentry, you could have started the range a bit earlier. But I don't think, to be honest, it makes that much of a difference right now. He's behind, and he has somehow to take a very good engagement. Maybe getting the Medivacs or something like this. But it will be tough. It will be very, very tough for him.
Yeah, range starts now, so a little bit over-asserting in, oh, he forgotten it? No, he just didn't have the money after that Nexus fell. As he's poking forwards again, and he may have got a little bit of inkling that there was no range there during that, but you know, even that, it doesn't really matter, because this 3rd command center back at home is going to give him so much economical power, so much production, that Mana's catch-up capabilities are slowly diminishing.
What did I say on Marigo? When did he get his 3rd base? Was it 11:45 or something?
I can't recall.
Okay,
I can't
me
recall.
neither, but this 3rd is at minute 14, so that's very late. That's, I mean...
So delayed, so delayed.
Yeah. Mana split it up his force very well. All the Stalkers in the main, while the rest at the 3rd. Given he has a rather small army, so that's not that much, but at least he tries whatever he can do right now. He's once again adding Immortals into the mix, and probably going for Templar Archives once more.
Yeah. I mean, so far, MMA has read game number 3 so well, to the point where he's fighting so diligent for this. A little boost in there with 4 medevacs, and the Vikings have been spotted on the left-hand side as well. Army supplies 102 to 66. This is a massive army barreling down towards this 3rd base that, unless Mana takes a great engagement, the Colossi, they're going to get picked down again from these Vikings. One of them dies before even anything's happened. And on the right-hand side, ooh, looking to chase that one down. But this is a huge bio army here from MMA, looking to destroy everything at this 3rd base. Time Warp looks to slow all of this down, but it's not even going to matter. MMA just has so much firepower. The 3rd gets cancelled. A great play here in game number 3 by MMA.
Yeah, the Colossus basically all die before doing anything. There's a Widowmine as well. And the Bioforce is so big, he's cleaning up the rest. 150 against 88.
No AoE damage available to Mana. A valiantly fought effort here. But MMA continues powering on and on and on. Is never down and out. Because right now, he is sat outside his opponent's Natural with a healthy Bioforce. Only gateway units.
Yeah, charge is not even finished. Mana is falling a little bit apart. He has so much minerals and gas.
GG, well played.
Calling
MMA moves on to the round of 8. He was looking a little bit shaky there at the start of this series, but he shows in game number 3 why he has the heart of a lion.
Yeah, look at him. You know, is congratulating him right now, and he's smiling again.
He looked nervous during that series.
Definitely, yeah.
He did.
After the first snap, he was like, oh my god, why did I build tanks?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me?
And then decided in the next 2 games, no, I won't do that anymore.
Yeah, let's go back to Bio Widowmine, Bio Medevac and Vikings. But yeah, he looked relieved, and it was, I mean, he crushed him in the third map because he was so far ahead of the Nexus, but it still feels so good if you win a game like that.
And MMA, he is, yes, he's looking at a round of 8 finish, but he's looking at the bigger picture. He is looking at BlizzCon. He is looking at the opportunity to play in Anaheim at BlizzCon. And this is so important for the guy. So big congratulations to MMA for moving on in 2nd place. He'll be playing in the round of 8, our finals here in WCS Europe.
Yeah, both Koreans topping the group. We have one Zerg advancing to the round of 8. And yeah, nice to see, I have to say.
Impressive stuff. So that does it from us here at the casting desk. Without further ado, let's hear from the 2nd place finisher of Group C. It's MMA.
Thank you very much, James. Yes, MMA, congratulations on the win, but more importantly, congratulations on reaching the round of 8 and keeping your BlizzCon hopes alive. Explain to me, in game 1, when you lost, what was going through your mind? Were you thinking about BlizzCon? Were you thinking about the quarterfinals? What was happening?
첫 번째 게임에서 만화한테 졌을 때 뭐 블리즈컨 생각도 나고 뭐 무슨 생각이 났었는지.
일단 처음부터 블리즈컨 생각이 났고 이러다 1년 농사 망치는 거 아닌가. 1년 동안 포인트 잘 쌓았는데 마지막 경기에서 이렇게 지면은 블리즈컨 나가보지도 못하고 이 자리에서 그냥 끝나는 건데 진짜 2, 3경기 그래서 최대한 신중하게 했던 것 같아요.
Of course, I was thinking about BlizzCon because I've worked the whole year for this, and if I would have lost the next game, I'm out. So yeah, I was thinking about it the whole time.
Okay, so how do you ignore that, stop building tanks, and then start map 2 and start doing it the right way, the way that you've done it before?
그럼 어떻게 그런 생각을 억누르고 다음 맵에서 이제 이렇게 잘했는지.
솔직히 두 번째 세트도 준비를 뭘 해야 될지 몰랐어요. 근데 그 훈이 매니저께서 와서 그냥 안정적으로 하면은 정찰하고 하면 이길 것 같다고 그래서 스카우트 하면서 했는데 그게 이겼던 것 같아요.
So to be honest, I didn't actually know what to prepare for the second map. So, but my manager, me, came to me after the first game and told me that I should play very safe and just play to the late game and just do what I always practice. So I did it and it worked.
Yeah, absolutely. So extra pay, more pay. Okay, good. So MMA is going to pay his manager more. So Inu's happy. Quarterfinals now for round of 8 WCS again, which is great. But again, are you always thinking about BlizzCon? Is it always about BlizzCon?
이제 8강이 갔는데 그래도 제일 중요한 건 블리즈컨이지. MMA 선수에게는 그게 진짜 언제나 생각하고 언제나 목표가 되는지.
그건 아니고요. 이번에 WCS 우승을 목표로 잡았고 WCS 우승을 하면은 블리즈컨도 자연스럽게 자신감 가져서 잘할 수 있을 것 같아요. 그래서 블리즈컨에서 뭐 우승한다 이런 마음은 지금 없고 일단 WCS에 집중할 생각이에요.
No, to be honest, at the moment my goal is to win WCS Europe. It's the last season, and if I win WCS Europe, I go automatically to BlizzCon. So I don't want to think about being a BlizzCon champion at the moment. I want to think about being a WCS Europe champion.
Okay, one final question. It's a very good night tonight for you and Golden, the old Slayers boys. Have you got anything to say about Golden's performance tonight?
오늘 그래도 명환이랑 성원이 형이랑 좋은 이제 다음 라운드로 가서 좋은 결과가 나왔는데 생각해 보면 같이 슬레이어스부터 같이 선수 생활을 했었는데 그거에 대해서 뭐 한마디 한다면?
일단 명환이랑 이렇게 WCS란 무대에서 만나서 즐거웠고 명환이 덕분에 한 10년 늙은 것 같아요.
I'm already worried.
I'm really happy that I had the chance to meet Golden and WCS Europe and play with them. But thanks to him, I feel like I'm older, like I aged 10 years after those games.
Okay, but you're still younger than me, so that's okay. Good. MMA, ladies and gentlemen, is the second man through Group C alongside his longtime friend Golden, who also qualifies from Group C. And that is that from Group C, except for the final words of the day to our three commentators. Sean, take it away.
Red Eye, I'm joined with our two commentators today, Hazwobs and Kolaris. Fantastic job once again, and it's good to have a team of 3, not 2 this week, Kolaris. But let's take a quick look at the brackets just to summarize today, who went through, who didn't go through. And first of all, we had Golden through in first place, confirmed there as the bracket says so, and then of course MMA in second. Yes.
Really good call on Golden.
Thank you, Hazwobs.
He looked very strong today, I have to say.
Yeah, he definitely did. Surprising to many. Not many people thought he would go through in first place over MMA. I'm pretty sure both of you thought MMA as well, right?
Yeah, MMA. Again, I was actually expecting the Golden MMA series to go a little bit differently than how it did. I didn't expect Golden to go aggressive in every single game, but he did, and it won out in the end. I expected maybe at least one longer game.
Yeah.
He played it very smart, I think. Like almost like every best of 3 he played was very smart by him. Every single map even. Like the small tricks he was doing, even like scouting with the Overlord, the proxy, Rex, then coming from the other side, not showing him for a while. Very smart. Yeah, I liked it.
So what was the thing that stood out the most for you in today's group then, Hazwobs?
That Velmo had such a hard time overall, especially the second best of 3. He was playing well against Golden, but completely fall apart against Mana. Especially the first map, where it was pretty even. Mana had slight advantage, but Velmo just had... Like, he was falling apart against War Prison, basically, and I was surprised by that. I thought he would do better.
And yourself?
Final series of the day, actually. I guess it's because it's fresh in my memory, but it was just really, really cool to see Mana actually taking that first game. Of course, there was the decision of MMA to go tanks, and it was a little bit dubious because of how things played out from there on out. But once you're a Protoss and you're in that position and you understand what's going on and there is that commitment to tanks, then you can shut it down pretty hard. And he did well to capitalize on that. If you're given that kind of boon, why not take it?
Yeah, and so we have another 2 players through, another Terran through. So we've got actually quite a few Terrans making their way to the round of 8. But tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. We have, of course, Daishi, Stardust, MC, and 4GG entering tomorrow's group. That's going to be such an epic group set of players. It's an awesome list.
Could be 2 more Terrans.
You think?
No. to be honest, I don't.
It's going to be hard for the Terrans, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
I think we might see the 2 Protoss players go through there. Well, I guess we'll have to find out tomorrow. Well, thank you very much for your services once again, boys, today. Red Eye, where are you?
Actually, I've come and joined the crowd because they've been very good today. Well done, everyone. Yeah, you've done a great job of supporting the players today. Very noisy. We like that when they come down to the WCS studio. And as Apollo just said, we have a fabulous day tomorrow lined up for you with 4 more fantastic players. Daishi really up against it against 3 absolutely top European Koreans. Yeah, that's right. I went there. Tomorrow's Group D is the final one of the round of 16. But don't forget, we're back in early October for the round of 8, the quarterfinals, semis and grand final to crown our final champion of 2014 here in Europe. The road to BlizzCon continues tomorrow. Make sure you're tuned in at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time. We'll see you then.